Stop wasting time with fluffy language videos. I'm Mr. Moony, and in the next 10 minutes, I'll teach you real German the way your brain actually learns. Simple words, clear sentences, perfect pace. I've helped thousands of children and adults master languages using a unique method. A moon-shaped animation format that simplifies everything. No clutter, no confusion, just results. From now until the end of this video, you'll build a solid German A1 foundation fast. No gimmicks, no passive listening, just active learning that works. Here's how to make it count. Pause when needed, take notes, repeat everything out loud. We're diving into essential grammar, phrases, and vocabulary that most teachers skip. Let's get to it.
Greetings and basic phrases. In any language, greetings are your first point of contact, and in German, they carry a lot of weight. Let's break down the key greetings and when exactly to use them. You'll start with Hallo, which simply means hello. It's casual, friendly, and you can use it with just about anyone in informal situations. Think of it like saying hey or hi in English. Now, for more formal or time-specific greetings, German is very precise. Guten Morgen means good morning and is used until about 10 a.m. After that, switch to Guten Tag, which literally means good day. Use it from late morning until early evening, around 6 p.m. After that, say Guten Abend, good evening. If someone is leaving and you want to be polite, say Auf Wiedersehen, which means until we see each other again. It's the formal way to say goodbye. Among friends or in casual settings, just say Tschüss. That's the German equivalent of bye. Now let's talk about small talk. When someone says Wie geht's, they're asking how are you? The response is usually Mir geht's gut, meaning I'm doing well, or simply gut, which means good. If you're just being polite, you can say Danke, which means thank you, followed by Und dir, and you. Now, when you want to show gratitude, Danke is the standard thanks. To respond, say Bitte, which can mean both please and you're welcome, depending on context. And finally, remember that tone and politeness matter. Germans tend to use formal phrases with strangers or in professional settings. Save the casual expressions for people you know well. So, don't just memorize these, visualize when you would actually use each one. That makes them stick in your brain.
Introductions. Introducing yourself is the first step to starting a conversation in German, and it sets the tone for everything that follows. You'll often hear Wie heißt du, which translates to what's your name, informal, used among peers, friends, or people your age. To answer, you say Ich heiße Anna, meaning I am called Anna. Literally, heißen means to be called. Another common way is to use Ich bin, which means I am, as in Ich bin Max. That works especially well when just stating your name directly. If you're being more formal, such as in a business or adult context, the question changes to Wie heißen Sie, using the polite form Sie. Now to talk about where you're from, you'll hear Woher kommst du, which means where do you come from? Your answer would be Ich komme aus Spanien. I come from Spain. Again, remember du is informal. The formal version would be Woher kommen Sie? And Ich komme aus stays the same. If someone asks where you live, they'll say Wo wohnst du? And you'd reply with Ich wohne in Berlin. I live in Berlin. These phrases are practical. You'll use them every time you meet someone new. One trick to remember is this. German often mirrors English sentence structure, especially in simple introductions. Just keep in mind when to use du and when to use sie. That's all about your relationship with the person you're speaking to. Practice these aloud. Anchor them to real scenarios in your head. That way, you're not just learning them, you're preparing to use them. To build real sentences in German, you have to start with subject pronouns. These are the words that replace people or things doing the action. In English, they're I, you, he, she, and so on. In German, it starts with ich, which means I. Then du is you, but only in informal settings. Use it with friends, family, or children. When addressing someone formally, like a stranger, boss, or official, you must use Sie with a capital S. Then we have er for he,
sie for she, and es for it. These are gendered, so you'll use er when referring to a masculine noun, like der Mann, or sie for a feminine noun, like die Frau. Next, wir means we, and ihr means you all, or you plural informal, used when talking to a group of people you know well. Finally, sie also means they when lowercase, and you formal when capitalized. That's the only case where capitalization changes the meaning. The structure of German relies heavily on getting pronouns right, because the verb conjugation depends on the subject. If you mess up the pronoun, the whole sentence becomes incorrect. So repeat these daily, drill them with verb endings, and always ask yourself, who's doing the action? That's your pronoun.
Verb sein, to be. The verb sein, which means to be, is one of the most important and irregular verbs in German. You'll use it constantly to describe people, emotions, jobs, locations, basically everything. The conjugation changes depending on the subject pronoun. You say ich bin for I am, like ich bin müde, I'm tired. Then du bist is you are, informal. Ist, sie ist, and es ist are all he is, she is, and it is. The plural form wir sind means we are. Use ihr seid when saying you all are informally. And then sie sind is used for both they are and you are formal. Context and capitalization tell you which. For example, Sie sind Lehrer can mean you are a teacher or they are teachers. You'll know based on who you're talking to. Because this verb is irregular, the forms don't follow a clean pattern. You simply have to memorize them. But here's a memory hook. It's used the same way as to be in English. So every time you say I am, you are, etc., translate it in your head to German and say it out loud. Use it with professions, feelings, identity. Ich bin Lehrer, I am a teacher. Or du bist nett, you are nice. Get this verb locked in early. It's the foundation of your fluency. Verb haben, to have. The verb haben, which means to have, is the other pillar verb at the A1 level. It's also irregular, but it follows a pattern you can get used to quickly. Start with ich habe, I have. You might say ich habe ein Buch, I have a book. Next is du hast, informal, you have. For example, du hast Zeit, you have time. Then hat, sie hat, und es hat are he has, she has, and it has. The plural forms are wir haben, we have. Ihr habt, you all have, and sie haben, again used for both they have and you have, formal. Unlike sein, this verb often gets used for possession, things, objects, time, even illnesses. Ich habe Hunger means I am hungry, but literally says I have hunger. That's how German structures these kinds of expressions. Same with ich habe Durst, I'm thirsty. The verb also appears in the perfect tense as an auxiliary, which you'll use later in past constructions. For now, practice it by talking about what you own. Ich habe einen Hund, I have a dog. Or wir haben eine Wohnung, we have an apartment. Repetition with real-life nouns will help lock it in. Congratulations! You've just covered the most essential German A1 building blocks. By learning how to greet, introduce yourself, and use basic pronouns and verbs like sein and haben, you've established the mental framework for all future learning. These aren't just random words and phrases. They're core tools for navigating everyday conversations, forming complete thoughts, and expressing needs, identity, and action in German. Every new word you learn later will plug into these foundations. Don't just memorize. Reinforce by speaking aloud, using phrases in real-life situations, and creating your own sentences. Language learning isn't linear. It thrives on repetition, correction, and real usage. So review these sections often and push yourself to interact in German, even if it's just thinking your thoughts in the language. This is just the start, and fluency comes from mastery of small components repeated consistently. Ich bin stolz auf dich. I am proud of you. Keep going. Bis bald.